Joseph the Dreamer. Some of you might remember a few weeks ago in Kids Work, we looked at some twin boys called Jacob and Esau. Jacob grew up to be a dad, and he had lots of sons. How many sons did Jacob have, Ollie?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Jacob had 12 sons. Now Jacob had a favourite son, and his favourite son was called Joseph. Now Joseph was Jacob's favourite son, so Jacob gave Joseph a very special rainbow jacket. It was all different colours. What colours were in the jacket?
Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink.
Joseph was as bright as a rainbow and as proud as a peacock. Joseph's older brothers were very jealous of Joseph.
Joseph is so spoiled. His
Father loves him the most.
He always gets special things. So Joseph's older brothers were very cross that Joseph got all this attention, and they were feeling very grumpy. And to make things worse, Joseph had 2 dreams. Dream number 1. Joseph said, "I had a dream last night." "Oh no," groaned his brothers. "I dreamed that you were all bundles of wheat, and guess what happened? Your bundles of wheat bowed down and worshipped mine." He then had a second dream. In the second dream, Joseph said, "I dreamed we were all stars, and guess what? Your stars bowed down to mine, just as if I were the king." It didn't take long for Joseph's brothers to get even crosser. So they made a plan. When they were out in the fields, Joseph's brothers decided they were going to put Joseph into a well, a deep, dark well. Poor Joseph, frightened in a dark well, thinking, how am I ever going to get out of here? Then in the distance there was a group of camels. Plod, plod, plod. We're a group of camels. Plod, plod, plod. We're a group of camels. Some tradesmen were on their way to Egypt on a group of camels. The brothers said, I've got an idea. Why don't we take Joseph out of the well and sell him to the tradesmen? So Joseph was taken out of the well and sold to the tradesmen for how many pieces of silver, kids? 20 pieces of silver. Poor Joseph, he'd been rescued from a well, but he was now being sold as a slave to go to Egypt. Joseph's brothers decided that they would use goat's blood to dip his jacket in and rip it up, so when they took it back to Jacob, Jacob thought that Joseph had been killed. Jacob was very upset. My son, my favourite son, he's been killed. I'm never going to see him again. His jacket is ripped. He's been eaten. Now this is a story that doesn't end very well, does it, kids?
No.
We've got poor Joseph being sold as a slave. We've got angry brothers. We've got a dad who has a favourite son and a son who's showing off about his dreams. What's great about this story, kids, is that we can always remember that God is always working out his good plans. So we're excited over the next few weeks to find out what happens to Joseph on his journey. He doesn't die as a slave, he actually gets raised up as a leader. Thanks for your help, Poppy and Ollie.
You're welcome.